a little time sending waves of metta or loving kindness just out into our communities and across our state in particular. May this compassion of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas be sent out to all suffering beings, human beings, animals, nature itself, all suffering from the effects of the recent storms and the very devastating floods. May the merit of today's service benefit all living beings everywhere. Thank you. So last night, Mike and I watched an NHK World documentary called Hikikomori Pilgrimage. And hikikomori is a Japanese word for those people who shut themselves away from society because they are fearful or overwhelmed by societal expectations. Sometimes they feel like they are failures, that they haven't lived up to their parents' expectations or society's expectations of them. And there is a large and growing number of these people who shut themselves up in their own homes, in their own internal worlds, in their own rooms, in their houses. There are thousands of people like this. And we learned that a few years back, someone started the Hikikomori pilgrimage for these kinds of people. And in this film, it was about 5 men who set out on foot as a group to visit the 88 Buddhist temples on the island of Shikoku, Japan. So for them, going on this pilgrimage on foot, very, very rigorous, sometimes up mountain paths, to kind of rough terrain, together, as they emerged out of their shells into the world, into nature. For these people, this pilgrimage was a kind of therapy and brought healing to them. And according to this documentary, about 80% of the people who have embarked on these pilgrimages have found relief from their suffering and were able to gradually re-enter society, find jobs again, and begin anew. And this is the significance of these pilgrimages. You know, for over 1,000 years, people in Japan have gone on the pilgrimage, which we are about to go on today in our kind of ritualized fashion. And the pilgrimages, the idea of pilgrimage is found in many religious traditions, as you know. People embark on pilgrimages for various personal reasons. To find a way to face their suffering and begin life anew. To pray for healing for themselves, for somebody dear to them. Or just to visit beautiful spiritual places and to refresh themselves spiritually, to connect with the Bodhisattvas of great compassion. So today, I'd like to talk about, as you go on the pilgrimage, and you'll see that these Bodhisattvas, and I hung up this scroll of 1,000-armed Bodhisattva, but you will see as you go on the pilgrimage that these Bodhisattvas often have multiple arms, and there's tremendous symbolism behind their multiple arms. So these are all beautiful works of art. You know, we're not worshiping icons, but rather these are expressions of great compassion and healing and wisdom. And these beautiful beings sometimes have more than 2 arms. Some have 8, some have more. And there's one called Senju Kannon, which is supposed to have 1,000 arms. And we have a white Senju Kannon there that Nancy Kurihara donated. This scroll has over the years faded, but it represents Senju, 1,000-arm Kannon, Senju Kannon. And in each arm, sometimes there is an eye. So the arms are these arms of compassion that are reaching out in all directions, trying to alleviate suffering in the world. And the eyes are the eyes of wisdom. Sometimes we just have the heart that wants to help to alleviate suffering. But we know that we need to cultivate deep wisdom, so we will know how to skillfully address suffering that we encounter in our lives. So these beautiful Kannon, they hold all kinds of things in their arms. Unfortunately, our Kannon are so old that over the years they kind of lost pieces and bits of their implements, their Dharma tools have either fallen or crumbled away. So some of them are only holding a few that are remaining. But every implement or Dharma tool is something that is used to alleviate suffering. So I'd like to talk about the symbolism of these Dharma tools. So these are all depictions of the Bodhisattva Kannon, known as Kuan Yin in Chinese, Avalokiteshvara in Sanskrit. The Chinese images in particular are very feminine. Avalokiteshvara, which started in India, is usually depicted as a masculine form. But Kannon, and the Japanese Kannon are kind of androgynous. They kind of have elements of both the feminine and the masculine. But the idea is that it's not about their gender. The idea is that these bodhisattvas' compassion go beyond gender. That they have an infinite compassion for all living beings. So perhaps the most common thing you see a Kannon bodhisattva holding, and it's kind of hard to see, many of them hold a lotus flower or a lotus bud, kind of like our gasho, like this, a lotus bud for you. And the lotus flower, as you know, represents the Buddha nature that is inherent in all beings, and it represents purity and the capacity for all living beings to rise up above the muddy waters of this world and to bloom, spiritually bloom, beautifully like a lotus. Other Kannons, maybe this one has a small vase. Some hold small water vases, or like a pitcher or vessel containing the compassionate nectar. And they're either holding this vessel which contains the water that can be poured upon the suffering in the world to alleviate the pain in our hearts, to heal illness, just to fill others with infinite compassion and light. And sometimes you will see this Kannon actually pouring the vase of water. You see water flowing out of it, and it's this healing nectar or this healing water that soothes and calms even the most turbulent hearts and minds. Others, like this one, actually this is Chirio Miyosa's Kannon Sama that he gave me. It was his mother's. This holds the Nyoi jewel. This symbolizes, it's called the Nyoi Oju. It's a magic jewel called the wish-granting jewel, and it fulfills our spiritual wishes of the devotees. This is the wish-fulfilling gem. The Jizo Bosatsu outside often is seen holding this wish-fulfilling gem. Other Kannons hold willow branches, or you will see a Kannon standing beneath a willow tree. Again, a symbol of peace and bringing peace and calmness to the world. Others hold prayer beads. Ojuzu, this kind of prayer beads, represents our constant practice and mindfulness and devotion to our practice of the Buddha way. So what's interesting is that, some of them kind of hold these things that you think, oh my gosh, why are the Bodhisattvas holding lassos and hatchets and swords? So these are Dharma instruments that cut through our delusion and our ignorance and bring us back to the truth or reality of things as they are. They're there to clear up our deluded minds, to kind of slash through our ignorance. There are Kannons that hold lassos or ropes, and this is to kind of bind our negative karma. Like you can throw out a lasso and bind your negative karma and transform it. It's always about transforming something that is negative, like hatred or jealousy, into something that is very beautiful and positive, like compassion, generosity, loving kindness. Some hold Dharma wheels. This is a Dharma wheel. Some of them hold these little Dharma wheels, a big one, and they're teeny. But these represent the teachings of the Buddha, namely the Eightfold Path and the Four Noble Truths. And they have various gestures. So if you look at our large Kannon Bodhisattva, the central one, it's a Sho Kannon. We call it the Hawaii Kannon. And this Kannon Sama holds a lotus, her left hand, and then her right hand is out, like reaching out like this. Again, this is a symbol of peace, of non-violence, and a symbol that all are included in Kannon's great vow to alleviate suffering. Some Kannon Samas, like this one, her hand is held like this, or his hand, and this is the mudra of fearlessness that says no fear, to help us deal with the many kinds of fears that inhibit us and that hold us back. So this is a symbol of saying there's nothing to be afraid of. you know, you are surrounded always by the great wisdom and compassion of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the awakened ones. So I just wanted to point out one interesting Kannon. So most of them have very benevolent faces that are peaceful and smiling and very beautiful. But there is one Kannon along this path that has a particularly fierce expression. And this is called Bato Kannon, or horse-headed Kannon. So as you walk the pilgrim's path, see if you can find Bato Kannon. Bato Kannon is very hard to miss. It's very, very fierce. And if you look at the triptych, the paintings on the wall, the colorful pictures on the wall that Tina painted for us, she has a very magnificent Bato Kannon there with flames coming out of it and a horse's head. So this Kannon has come to be known as a protector of animals in particular, and and protector of travelers, because in the olden days in Japan and elsewhere, horses were used as a mode of transportation, and so today the Bato Kannon is often, so it was the Bato Kannon where there's there to protect travelers, to protect those riding horses, but also any kind of traveler that is going by. So if you can find the Bato Kannon, it is to protect animals as well. So sometimes there might be, now they have pet cemeteries or special columbariums for pets in Japan, and you might find Bato Kannon there as a protector of the animals. So as you go through the pilgrim's path, there are packets of soil that have come from those various temples in Japan that were brought over to Hawaii. So step on that packet of soil and you can connect with that particular Bodhisattva of compassion, connect with that particular temple in Japan, and you can offer your own prayer for healing, or what we do is we chant the name of the Bodhisattva Kannon. So I have it here. Namu Kanze Om Bosatsu. So to each one, you can say Namu Kanze Om Bosatsu. And it means homage to the Bodhisattva Kannon of great love and great compassion. So I hope that you will enjoy your pilgrimage today. We do ask that you kind of move, we keep the line flowing, but after the service is over, and throughout this week until Thursday, people are welcome to come and maybe on your own to walk this pilgrim's path and spend more time gazing into the faces of compassion and offering your own prayers for healing along the way. But today we'll just keep the line flowing. We'll be chanting the Heart Sutra and wearing the pilgrim's vest. Many blessings for the Kannon pilgrimage.